I identify with him. Every governor has to start to lay foundation for an asset that have never been exploited, that has great potentials for Ekiti people. So I see what he said, but I'm also making the claims that Ekiti has already seen a lot of impact given the limitations of current environment, but more is still to come from what Governor Kayode is doing right now.
Okay, well, Honorable LANRE Ogunsuyi, let me quickly talk about this particular, the mantra. Honorable Ogunsuyi, I believe you're hearing me?
Really?
Okay, I think it's better now. The mantra, reclaiming the land, restoring our values, was the sung tune of Governor Kayode Fayemi's campaign. As an Ekiti man, I don't know, Mr. Debo Jaja was asking the other time if you have actually been on ground, but let me also ask you this. As an Ekiti man, has the government given life to that statement, reclaiming the land, restoring our values?
Thank you so much, Josh, and thank you so much, Mr. Awanti. I go along with a lot of your points. First of all, let me tell you that I don't live in Ekiti State.
Okay, you don't leave Ekiti State?
Yes, I have not slept 20 days out of Ekiti in the last 20 years.
Okay.
So I am here, and I want the best of Ekiti State because that's why I can water. Common man, you know. I agree with him that the knowledge economy is important. I don't know about mantras. Mantras are just like marketers. Let's just say it's political marketing. You change, restoration, repositioning. All those are just political marketing, mantras. But coming to the real terms of it, every government in Ekiti State, since inception, have tried in one area or the other. That's why they are voted in the first place. But what we are saying is this. There are so many areas that government have wasted Ekiti State money due to disjointed incrementalism in governance.
Are you referring to this present administration or past governments as well?
Yeah, every administration since inception, except the Adebayo administration, is guilty of this. One government starts a project, and then another one comes on board and is very reluctant to finish that project. Not minding the money that has been sunk there. I would take the water projects, for example, that those states governors think. I would think it will have something to do with the water works that has been lying uncompleted and inside the bush uncleared for years. So how do you it's nobody's father's money that was used to construct that water works. So how do we have that mighty water corporation building, the annex there, and the water works behind it, which is where the water itself is in neglect? I can give you so many projects like that. The market, I'm concerned about the market because the people who are supposed to use that market are sitting by the roadside, eating by rain, eating by sun. I commend the governor on the areas of the roads Mr. Awanti has already mentioned. But the aim of this program is not to pursue the governor.
Yes.
It's to draw his attention to certain other areas so that when these things are attended to, he name will be written in gold. We're not looking for a third term. But what we are saying is you should start with EXU. When you want to have a knowledge, you have to have a knowledge center. EXU is not connected to the national grid. EXU was established as a university in the old Ondo State for Ekiti State because of the recognition that Ekiti State is knowledge center by a non-indigenous of Ekiti State. But what has become of that institution today? It's number 43 or 48 in Nigeria, rank in Nigerian university. We should continue to look at these issues. Even building an airport is part of a knowledge. You want to make people become pilots. But where is the university? Because when small children see the airport and planes, they will be motivated to go into that direction. Where I once suggested to somebody that we should have 3 mega secondary schools in each territorial zone. People used to send their children from Lagos to Ekiti State in the 60s and 70s to get good education. Who does that now? The government secondary schools, we need to work on, modern schools, because that is the platform for education. But we are sliding down. We are in the mid-levels. When we talk about that knowledge that we inherited from the ancestors, how much of it? Look at the headers for farmers. There was an administration that established poultry for local government. If it was 40, the next government, they had established. We must begin to look at how we can see what is the Ekiti agenda. If it is education, let's invest in it. Nobody gets something out of nothing. So the government is trying, but in the area of employment of youth, attraction of youth to school, I think we are losing it.
All right, okay. Well, gentlemen, we don't actually really have time on a program. There are a lot of issues, a plethora of them to actually touch if we want to scientifically and surgically analyze this issue. Well, Mr. Ajayi, let's move away from economy and some other issues. Let's talk about some other factors which definitely experts and people may want to use to actually assess a government. Let's talk about the plight of workers now. Now, the governor is here to fulfill his promises on payment of salary arrears. He promised the workers when he was campaigning that he will clear these in a few months. I can't remember specifically right now, but there are issues here and there. Yes, there have been meetings, there have been negotiation, and I guess that's why even the governor said yesterday that that's why he thanked the workers for their understanding. But I need to ask you this: can you justify this delay, even though he says it won't be denied, Mr. Deborah Tajayi?
Well, first of all, I'll be talking from an outsider, not as an insider. So whatever I say here, I'm not talking for the government.
For the government,
your question is, can I justify the delay? Can I rationalize the delay?
Exactly.
As an outsider, obviously I can. I can, because we know the realities on ground in Nigeria. We know the dwindling revenue coming in from Abuja, and the growing responsibilities. Mr. LANRE mentioned about roads and infrastructure. Whenever you have to expand on these things, it's a toll on resources. So I can rationalize. And one thing that is not always obvious, actually, is that at least I was part of first term of Governor Fayemi, so I can talk about what used to happen then. What many people don't realize sometimes is that in order for government to meet such obligations as paying salary on time, when revenue...
Hello? Hello? Okay.
To be able to meet those obligations, you know, because salaries have to be paid on time and as expected. So a lot of things are juggled, you know, for one another in managing that cash flow to make sure salaries are paid on time. So, as far as I know, the governor has been paying salaries as far as I know for several months now.
It's the arrears.
Yes, when due, if okay, it's the arrears. Well, you know, arrears you have to plan for them. You know, to clear. I mean, to pay salaries, current salaries is a challenge already in current dispensation, and going back to pay arrears requires planning. So, and I'm sure as he has promised, he's going to fulfill his promises to the workers. So it's just a case of understanding, a case of also effective communication on part of government to manage the expectations, because many times people are agitated when they don't know what is going on or what to expect. So I can rationalize it, and I'm sure the situation will be addressed in short order as promised by the governor.
Well, Honorable LANRE...
okay, go ahead.
Okay, I thought you wanted to add something. Well, Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI...
Well, I was going to actually... Yeah, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI, well, this next question, I would have loved to direct it to Honorable Deborah Ajayi. He was Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning in the state, in Ekiti State. But you, as well, you were the part of the last administration as the Commissioner for Information, Youth and Sports. Particularly, that information says a lot. You know so much about that government. You had the governor's speech earlier, Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI, when he mentioned that he said the internal generated revenue of the state has increased from 450 million to 800 million monthly. Well, this looks commendable. So, as a cabinet member in the last administration, I want to ask you now. I will come back to Honorable Deborah Ajayi to also answer this question. What has changed in strategy, and what has triggered this recent rise in IGR?
Thank you so much. I want to commend the workers who work in the IGR department and those policy makers and policy implementation team. But having said that, I want to quickly say about the promise of governors payment of salary to staff.
Salary arrears.
I think we should stop different politics, partisan or non-partisan with it.
Okay.
If you make a promise, you stick to it. Don't come back and give excuses. Now, having said that, you see that even your water is now 340 or something like that, 340 naira. The value of money has increased. In 2018, the bag of soup was 1,000 my area. Today, it is standing stable at 3,005. So what 450 million can buy, even the dollar to the naira in 2018 was about 200 and something naira. And today it's F70.
Okay.
So the value of 450 million in 2000 is actually higher than the value of 800 million. Today, the economists will tell you that. So, but that.
So you don't actually agree that there's an increase?
Well, if you agree that there's an increase in people, of course, You are correct. But
Okay.
you say it's an increase
mathematically, but in value.
But in value, you and I know that the dollar is 570 now, and it was 28 in 2008. So, having said that, I think we should begin to look at
Productivity.
Without any choice, with all due regard to the labor force in Nigeria, I think we should begin to look at it. A private station is run efficiently on a staff of 30, and a public station is run inefficiently with a staff of over 1,000. So we should begin to look at productivity, not to replace staff, but refocusing.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Because we have to begin to see, and a lot of these people are quite innovative and talented. But over time, going to the same office, not being allowed to have optimum utilization of what they know. You understand? Do you know that the firms can produce the hydro that can power them, and that we have people, professors, level technicians that can work on it, that each of you can power, so that the people can at least have water, and we don't expect the fire, but it's not magic.
Okay. So, I think because of our time, and I've got one or two questions to still ask both of you. At the same time, we still want our listeners to contribute. You made your point there, productivity. I sincerely appreciate that, Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI. Well, I will quickly ask you the same question, Mr. Debo Roteja, but I want you to answer in just 1 minute. You served as a cabinet member during the first time of Governor Kayode Fayemi, and between then and now, so what has changed in strategy that has triggered the recent rise in IGR? I don't know if you agree with Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI's position.
I hear him, but I do not entirely agree with his position because growing IGR, doubling IGR during these difficult times, you can immediately understand the amount of effort that would have taken, and the amount of creativity and ingenuity that would have taken. I join him to congratulate Governor Fayemi's team for achieving this stride. And I understand what he said about the fact that the increase may appear nominal than real. Nominal in terms of figures, but in terms of when it's inflation adjusted, it may not have been. But the reality is still saying that if the IGL had not increased, okay, you would have imagined what the state of the economy would have been, especially for the government. So I think it's a great thing that they've been able to achieve what they have achieved. And in terms of fulfillment of promises, we have to put this in context. There's something called force majeure. These promises were made before COVID-19. These promises were made before the downturn in the general economy of Nigeria. And for the government to endeavor to fulfill those promises in spite of difficult times should really be congratulated for the hard work of himself and his team.
Okay, because of our time. So, Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI, what key areas would you expect government to focus on that they're not focusing on right now? I will expect that in 1 minute.
Township roads.
Township roads, okay.
The university.
You mean Ekiti State University? Are you referring to that?
Yes, Ekiti State University.
Okay.
Payment of salaries.
Salary arrears.
Salary arrears and deductions, especially to the tertiary institutions, to avoid strikes, and destruction of the school calendar. And security, the area of security should work on it. Amotekun was said to have been given allocated 1.4 billion. We are not seeing impact yet. And of course, I wish them a very, very successful year ahead, because
all right,
it is in the success of the government that the people themselves can be happy.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI. Mr. Deborah Ajayi, key areas you like the government to focus on, areas that you think that they're not focusing on right now.
Well, actually, I think the government should focus on doing or completing what they have started. As I mentioned earlier, the airport and the foundation for the knowledge zone. And then, of course, to continue with the work that are ongoing right now in the areas of education. I also wish John Kayode Fayemi a successful year of handover. And I pray that you'll be handing over to another leader who will be able to sustain and further his development strides.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time on this very special edition of Bottom Line, this program designed to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of Dr. John Kayode Fayemi's second time in office. Honorable LANRE OGUNSUYI, former Commissioner of Information, Youth and Sport. We sincerely appreciate you, Honorable Deborah Ajayi. We appreciate you, former Commissioner in the Ekiti State for Budget and Economic Planning. Thank you very much. I do have a great day.
And you too.
Thank you very much.
You too, and thanks, listeners, for having us.
All right, bye. All right, let's quickly dedicate the short period, the few minutes we have at our disposal right now to contribution from you, their listeners at 0915 388 6590 0816 781 4132. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Joshua. This is Adisa calling from Adu.
Thank you for calling, Mr. Adisa.
I want to congratulate the governor for his 3rd year in office, the second term. But as Nigerians and citizens of Ekiti, we still demand more. What I believe is that policy is a roadmap to development, while infrastructure is the greatest increase, whereby the roadmap is being achieved. You find out that really the two speakers, they themselves, they have failed this Ekiti. They failed Ekiti, to be frank.
The two
because
speakers.
the Commissioner for Budgeting, the Commissioner for Budgeting had ideas of how this state should be grown. He didn't tell his former boss. And the Commissioner for Sport himself knows what to do, did not tell his boss. So they themselves, they failed these people, they failed Ekiti. But what I want the governor to do is to make sure that really complete every uncompleted project. And every other governor that is coming on board should start from that and not waste the money allocated to Ekiti. God bless Ekiti. God bless John Kayode Fayemi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adisa. Appreciate your contribution. We can take more calls. 0915 388 6590 0816 781 4132. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kayode Ajayi is my name.
Thank you for calling. Where are you calling from, Mr. Ajayi?
I'm calling from Ekiti.
Good to have you. Go ahead, please.
You are welcome, Monitor. To me, what I observe is that the government, the president executive governor of Ekiti State, doesn't make himself available. People are willing to beckon to him on phone to make their intention known, at least to register some things within his mind. But you will never have access to him. Unlike federal government, this is the area of my concern.
All right. Thank
to
you.
me, I'm in a situation whereby people are elected you. As soon as you got their vote, you switch off from them. In fact, Moderator, call the attention of the government to this. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. You have already done that. We'll appreciate you for your contribution this morning. 0915 388 6590 0816 4132. Oh, sorry about that. Sincere apologies. We wanted to pick that call, but I guess we pressed the wrong button. Well, 0915 388 6590. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Lawrence from Ekiti.
Thank you for calling, Chief Lawrence.
I congratulate our able governor for his third term in his second term. But I don't like his followers as such.
His followers?
They tell lies too much. I mean, his political followers, they tell lies too much. When you brought somebody, I think around May or June this year, they said there is a rice pyramid in Ekiti. You know, some of us were very, anyway, don't let me talk another thing. Some of us, we are following all what you are saying. They said there is a rice pyramid in Ekiti now. Now, when you brought another people this week, they say water is flowing in every tap in Ekiti. For Ekiti, for the past 80 years, we have not seen any water flowing inside the tap. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Lawrence Ninolowo from Ifaki, Ekiti. We might just be able to accommodate to just one more call just before we say our byes on the program this morning. 0915 388 6590. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have 1 minute. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Sir, I've worked hard from the decision of the government that the IDR has increased. But when the IDR has increased now, and the country people, the new time is decreased, are still very rough like this. What are they using the money for?
All right. Thank you very much.
The salary I have for this month is there. The bonus is not paid. Promotion salary is not paid. Anyone is not paid.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate it. Quickly, we'll take a few messages from our Facebook page. Don't forget, you can always watch this program on Facebook and drop your comments there. NewCruse 927 FM. We're always live. Well, Oluwaseun Ajikade, well, I think she's just saying well done. Aronsiola Nurudin Titilope. Oh, where's that? Okay, where's that? Did I lose that? Okay, well, kudos to the government. That's Mr. Benga. He still has a lot to do in order for development of Ekiti in every area as well. I think we have something from Oluwaru Timisi Roti 2. You're just appreciating us. Good morning, Mr. Joshua. We use this medium to congratulate Governor Kayode Fayemi on his 3 years as governor of Ekiti State and also oblige him to complete the project he has started. I guess that's all for now. That's the show for today. Many thanks to everyone who has been part of the show. Many thanks to my guest this morning, Mr. Deborah Ajayi, former Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning in Ekiti State, as well as Trade Investment in Ekiti State, and also former Commissioner for Information, Youth and Sport, Mr. LANRE. Thank you, gentlemen. Everyone who called, we appreciate you. My producer, Samuel Ligomini, thank you very much. Samuel will be back tomorrow. Now, on Bottom Conversation with Samuel Ligomini at 8:15 to 9:30. But I'll be back on Monday for another edition of Bottom Line. Many thanks to my executive producer, Jide Okunluyi. Bye for now and have a great day.